Hello everyone, Paul here. Today I'm going to go over uh, some indicators that I have on TradingView. I'm going to go over these indicators, but these are special indicators. I actually paid for them, so they're not available if you guys want to use them. I can't give them out to people because I paid for them, and the guy that created them. If you want them, you have to go through the guy that created the indicators. But I'm going to show you. There's 4 indicators that I use. I don't know if I'm going to be able to talk about them all in this video, but all 4 of these indicators are, and I'll probably go more in depth when I'm actually on my computer. I just kind of want to go over them briefly. So the one that is most beneficial to me is, let's see, I'm going to start with the pressure gauge. And these are all paid uh, indicators, just so you know. Like I said, you guys won't be able to find these on the on TradingView. They're coded special scripts. So anyway, this one here is called the pressure gauge. Let me go into the day or the week, be more specific. And let me go to the hour. You will find it better. What the pressure gauge does, which is really, come on, shrink down. Yeah, well, anyway. Trying to get this so you guys to see it, but the pressure gauge, let me move my days, maybe that'll work. Okay, so you can see these little yellow pressure bars. And what usually happens during the pressure bar, when you see it appear, it usually means there's going to be a strong turn up or a strong turn down. And it's easy. It's an easy way to find out if something's going to go up or something's going to go down. If it's going to, like, let's say the bull market starts and you see these will be a good indication that there's going to be an uptrend. But what I do, and I'm going to go over the other indicator that kind of helps. But you can see those little yellow bars. Those yellow bars will show you when the market is either going to go down or up significantly. So let's look and see if it shows up again. Let's right here. So we see it right here. So put it right here, around here. Okay, so right here you see the pressure bar, and then not long after it shows up, what happens? The market goes down. So you'll be able to detect that real easy. But I'm gonna show you guys the way that I do this. I use another one of their indicators called the what's it called? It's called the trend exhaustion. And what I do is I make my moves based off of the trend exhaustion. The trend exhaustion is really good because it'll show you pretty much when that line is all the way down on the bottom. It's usually the bottom of a market, usually, not all the time. And at the top, it's usually when it's time to sell. So when the market's going to go down. So if it's down there on the bottom red, time to buy. Time on the very top, it's time to sell. So what I see is this the gauge pressure, the pressure gauge here, the yellow bar. When I see it, I line it up. Now the guy that created these indicators, come on, okay, the guys that created these indicators, he never talked about. This is kind of a strategy I've figured out on my own. But you can see right here, if it lets me highlight it, come on. Come on. No. Come on. Here it goes. Okay. So you can see right where the pressure gauge is. you'll see that the trend exhaustion is kind of in the middle. So if this was a move that I was going to do, I wouldn't do this move because the trend exhaustion's kind of in the middle. What I look for is I look for the pressure gauge, and then I look for the trend exhaustion to be on the bottom. Because if the trend exhaustion's on the bottom the same time where the pressure gauge is there, most likely it's going to go up. Because if you see the pressure gauge, you don't know if it's going to be a strong down or a strong up. So let's go and see if we can find it again. Any more pressure gauge? Let's look for a pressure gauge. And I'm on Ethereum, so maybe I should switch to Bitcoin. Okay. Where did you go, Ethereum? Okay, we see the pressure gauge again. And the trend exhaustion is more on the bottom, but still it trended down. So let me try to find one. Let me go to Bitcoin here. We'll look at it through Bitcoin. So let's look for the pressure gauge. Now this is strategy I've come up with when I messed around with this guy's indicators. Let's look for a pressure gauge. There's a tiny small one there, and then it goes down a little bit. But let's look for one. What we're looking for is a pressure gauge. There's one right here. Now this is one I personally wouldn't do. You see the pressure gauge and you see the trend existence more on the top. Most likely it's going to go down from what I can see right here. Pressure gauge, trend exhaustion's at the top, so most likely it's going down. But in this case it went up. It went down a little bit, but then it went up. So it's a good way to spot big moves in the market. Let's see if I can find one more. I'm going to try and find one more, and then I'm going to talk about the other indicators. Come on, pressure gauge. Where's a pressure gauge? There's a tiny one right there. Wouldn't do that one. Pressure gauge. Okay, well, let's just look at this one for example. There's a small gauge right here. You can't really see it. But you can see in the trend exhaustion that it's more up to the top. So I would also look at the yellow bar here, the pressure gauge. If I see it's at the top, more likely it's going to go down. And the market does go down, from what you can tell from that pressure gauge. Let me just see if there's one more. I want to see if there's an example of it going up. Here we go. Well, I don't know if this is going to work. Let's see. Pressure gauge, the trend exhaustion's at the top, so most likely it's going to go down, which it does. So I don't really use this to get in when it's going down. There are times when you can catch it when it's going to go up, but since we're in a bear market, a lot of these pressure gauges are going to indicate that it's going to go down instead of going up. But if you guys have these indicators, and I'll put the link below, you can go to the guy's YouTube channel, his link, and you can get these indicators. I can't give them out to you guys, but this strategy is basically you get the pressure gauge, you get the trend exhaustion, you look for the pressure gauge, and then you look at your trend exhaustion. If your trend exhaustion's at the top, most likely it's going to go, the market's going to go down, a sharp turn down. There's going to be a massive turn down. But if you see the trend exhaustion more on the bottom, when you see the pressure gauge, more likely it's going to start going up. So anyway, these are kind of what I figured out when I've messed around with this guy's indicators. Like, I can't give these away. Like I said, if you guys want them, I'll put the links below. I'll link the guy's YouTube channel, his and his page if you want to get these indicators. Other than that, I am gonna spend a couple videos talking about these indicators and how it kind of helps. So anyway, guys, like this video, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys in future videos.